All right, looking at this, what we have found the pattern. We know that anything to the 0 power is 1, and we know that negative exponents create fractions. They don't make the number negative, they create fractions. So we're going to write those things down. Make sure you've written these down. Any value raised to the 0 power is equal to 1. So I'll just give you a couple more examples of that. I could say 4 to the 0 power, that's 1. I could say 2.76 to the 0 power is 1. So anything to the 0 power is always going to be 1. The other thing we just looked at is negative exponents and what happens. Well, negative exponents, we looked at them in this manner, where if it's on the top of the fraction and we want to make it a positive exponent, we move it to the bottom of the fraction. The other thing I want you guys to know is that if it's on the bottom, so if the negative exponent is on the bottom of the fraction, what you're going to do is you're going to move it to the top and it will become positive. I always like to say whether or not they're happy. So this guy isn't happy, so he moves to the bottom of the fraction. And this guy isn't happy being on the bottom of the fraction, so he moves to the top of the fraction. To simplify negative exponents is just what I just got through saying, but this is just in words. Move the power with its base to the other side, top or bottom of the fraction, and make the exponent positive. And then you simplify. So negative exponents, another thing I've already stated out loud. Negative exponents do not affect whether the expression is positive or negative. Very, very important. They do not affect whether or not it's positive or negative. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through quite a few examples, and we're going to get rid of the negative exponent. So anytime we're asked to simplify with a negative exponent, our answer should never have a negative exponent in it. So what I'm going to talk about is being happy. So this guy is not happy right now. He's on the top of the fraction. I know he's on the top of the fraction because this is like over 1. So I'm going to move him to the bottom of the fraction. He's now happy. And then I'll simplify this. So this says 1 over 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So my answer is 1 over 64. The second one. This guy is not happy. So I move him to the bottom of the fraction. And I now simplify 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That is 81. So I have 1 over 81 as my answer. The next problem. This guy is on the bottom of the fraction, but he's not happy there, so he's going to move to the top of the fraction. So it'd be like 7 over 2 to the first power, but we don't need to write this part. And so we just say 7 to the second power. 7 to the second power is 49. The next one, we know anything to the 0 power is 1, so we just write 1. Now let's look at a few more that are hard. Before we do, let's go ahead and write this down. An algebraic expression is in simplest form, and this is what I just said. I don't want to see any negative exponents written in your final answer. So you know an expression is simplified when it has all positive exponents left in it. So we get ready to go on here. This is what algebraic expression I have. Notice the parentheses are here. So this says everything, this whole thing is to the 0 power. We know anything to the 0 power is 1. So it is really that simple. And then this next problem, I've got certain things that are not happy. And what I'm going to do is going to highlight anything that's not happy. Anything that's not happy, we need to move. So the 4 and the y stay where they are. This one's not happy, so it moves to the bottom and becomes happy. The next problem, I have just this one that's not happy. I would highlight the things that you know you've got to move. So you're going to keep the 3a, it's happy, and you're going to move the b squared. And you're finished. The next problem, I'm going to highlight what's not happy, which happens to be the w to the negative 4th. So it wants to move to the top of the fraction, and it's finished. The next one, we've got the x, the negative 3rd, that's not happy. Everything else is fine. So we keep the 2, and we move this to the top of the fraction, and it becomes happy.